An odd thought occurred to me this week. One of my least favorite words is hospital, but I sure do love hospitality. Shalom, my friends. Yes, hospitality. Who doesn't appreciate that? I just left Indiana, where they pride themselves on Hoosier hospitality. And now I'm in Nebraska, where I have learned that Husker hospitality takes a back seat to absolutely no one. But for the purposes of this video, let's talk about hospitality in the Jewish tradition. Before we get into the message of the video, in my last video I promised I would share ways to support the work of this channel. One way you can do that is by becoming a patron. You do that at patreon.com. We're very grateful to all of our patrons who have made a $3 a month donation to support our work. If you're interested in becoming a patron, I will leave a link to Patreon in the description box below the video. Another way to help us get our videos in front of more viewers is to subscribe to the channel, which is absolutely free. Please watch until the end of the video for a very easy way to subscribe. And now, my friends, on to the topic of the week. One of the most beautiful scenes in the Torah appears in Genesis chapter 18. Abraham is sitting at the entrance of his tent in the heat of the afternoon. He's just entered into the covenant of circumcision. He's not a young man, and according to rabbinic tradition, he is still recovering from the circumcision. Yet, when he sees three strangers approaching, he doesn't wait for them to come to him. He runs to greet them. The Torah says he lifted up his eyes and saw three men were standing near him. Abraham immediately says, "My lords, if I have found favor in your eyes, please don't pass by your servant." He offers water and shade and bread and rest. And then he does far more than he promised, or at least he makes sure that his guests are well taken care of. It's kind of funny. He promises them a good meal, and then he runs to Sarah and basically says, "Start cooking." But that's another story for another time. Today, the point is that Abraham does not practice hospitality reluctantly or minimally. He practices it eagerly, generally, and personally. Our ancient sages saw something extraordinary in this moment, because at the beginning of the chapter it says God appears to Abraham. Then Abraham greets his visitors. Regarding this, the Talmud teaches that welcoming guests is even greater than receiving the divine presence. And that's a startling statement. Abraham, in a sense, turns from God in order to care for human beings, and God approves. Why? Because Judaism does not separate love of God from love of people. Sometimes the way we welcome God is by welcoming others. Pirkei Avot teaches us, "Let your house be open wide, and let the poor be members of your household." Hospitality is not only about entertaining your friends. It's not only about setting a beautiful table for people we already know and like. It's about creating a home, a community, and a way of life in which others feel seen, wanted, and safe. In every community, there are people waiting at the edges. Some are new to the community. Some are lonely. Some are grieving. Some feel awkward walking into a room where everyone else seems to know where they belong. The mitzvah, in Hebrew it's called haknasat orchim, welcoming guests, asks us not merely to be friendly if someone approaches us, but to be like Abraham, to lift our eyes and notice them first. Let me ask you, do you think that hospitality is limited to providing food?
No.
It can be a meal, but it could also be a greeting, an invitation, a seat saved, or even a question asked with real interest. It can be remembering someone's name. It can be making sure that no one leaves feeling unseen. Genesis 18 reminds us that Abraham's tent was open on all sides, and that is the Jewish model of welcome, not being guarded or narrow, not only for insiders, but open. When we open our homes, our tables, our synagogues, and our hearts, we continue the way of Abraham and Sarah. And perhaps that's why this story begins with God appearing to Abraham. Because where there is genuine hospitality, where human beings are welcomed with kindness and dignity, the divine presence is already there. Have you ever experienced extraordinary hospitality? If you have, tell us about it in the comments box below the video. I will respond to everyone who comments. I'd also appreciate it if you would give us a thumbs up on YouTube. And I mentioned telling you how to subscribe. You do have to be logged into YouTube for it to work, but assuming you're logged in, you can subscribe to the channel at absolutely no cost by clicking on my face, which pops up right over there, or watch another video by clicking on its icon right over there. As ever, until next time, Shabbat Shalom.